Hey, it's me. Have you ever wondered why relationships can feel so beautiful and painful all at once? From a spiritual perspective, relationship is one of the most powerful mirrors we have. It reflects where we are on our inner path, where we are open and where we're still afraid, where we've grown and where we still need to meet ourselves. In our everyday experience, we often see ourselves as separate individuals, each with our own consciousness, our own will, our own desires. And while that's true on this level, it's only part of the truth. Beyond this human plane, there is only one consciousness. Each of us is a unique expression of that one source. When we begin to awaken, we start to feel this truth, not by losing our individuality, but by seeing how connected we truly are. This split between unity and separateness doesn't just show up between people, it happens inside us too. There are parts of you that are wise, loving, and true, and other parts still stuck in fear, confusion, or pain. You can feel this inner division. It creates anxiety, tension, or a sense that something's just not right. And often, without realizing it, you push away the part of yourself that feels distorted or painful, trying to identify only with the good side. But this only deepens the split. Healing comes when you stop pushing away and start facing the full truth of your inner world with compassion and curiosity. The same principle applies to how we relate to others. Any conflict or tension you feel with someone isn't just about them. It's about the interplay between your state and theirs. And most of the time, the root of that friction lives inside. This is why deep relationship work starts within. If you haven't made peace with your own inner split, if you haven't been willing to meet your conflicting emotions, beliefs, and fears, you'll keep playing them out in your connections with others. You find yourself blaming, withdrawing, or repeating painful patterns. Not because you're broken, but because your relationships are trying to wake you up. This is why relationships are such powerful catalysts. They bring your hidden stuff to the surface, and that's why they can also be so challenging. It's why some people choose to isolate, because when you're alone, you can maintain the illusion that you're whole and healed. But it's a false peace. It's not the deep joy of being known, felt, and met. That only happens in connection. And yes, sometimes being alone feels safer. But there's a cost. Without intimate contact, we cut ourselves off from life's deepest fulfillment. And the longing for closeness grows stronger the more we deny it. Some people are able to engage with others on a surface level. They can talk, laugh, socialize, but they avoid real closeness. They avoid being fully seen. And in doing so, they deny themselves the joy of being truly known and loved. The depth of your relationships is a direct reflection of how open you are to yourself and to life. When you feel unfulfilled in a relationship, it's not random. It's not bad luck. It's often because you're unwilling, consciously or unconsciously, to truly share yourself or receive another. If you're trying to get love on your terms without being willing to give it freely, your longing will stay unmet. It's not life being unfair, it's life reflecting back your own withholding. Every relationship is a mirror. It shows you your level of self-awareness, self-responsibility, and capacity to love. The more honestly you face yourself, the more your relationships will thrive. And the more you resist, the more pain you'll feel in connection or in loneliness. Here's something else that's important to know. When two people are in a relationship and one of them is further along in their growth, the greater responsibility for the relationship lies with the more developed person. This doesn't mean carrying the other person's pain or fixing them. It simply means being willing to look deeply within whenever there's conflict, to see your part, even when the other person is clearly struggling too. Blame and projection are signs of immaturity. Real maturity means asking, what in me is being activated here? What is this showing me? When two people are growing at a similar pace, when they both take full responsibility for what they bring into the relationship, it becomes one of the most sacred, beautiful, and fulfilling experiences on earth. Friction becomes feedback. Every little moment of disconnect becomes an invitation to deeper understanding and intimacy. There's no blame, just curiosity, compassion, and shared growth. But if one person stays stuck in blame and the other avoids their own work, the relationship suffers. The more evolved partner must lead, not through control or criticism, but through deep presence, inner inquiry, and loving truth. This can subtly inspire the other to grow. But if the connection becomes destructive, draining, or toxic, it's a sign that the relationship needs to end, not out of spite, but from clarity. True growth sometimes means letting go. And still, we must be honest. The habit of blaming others is deeply ingrained in most of us. It shows up in the smallest ways too. Irritation, defensiveness, withholding, or even silence. We blame others for our discomfort instead of looking within, and we often do it without even realizing it. So ask yourself, when I'm disturbed, what part of me is being touched? Am I really responding to this moment or reacting from an old wound? The key to unlocking intimacy, pleasure, and spiritual growth in relationship lies in this question. When you stop projecting guilt and start taking ownership, everything changes. You become less reactive, more grounded, more able to love. The highest potential of relationship isn't just companionship, it's transformation. It's where you grow not just beside each other, but through each other. And nowhere is this more powerful than in romantic partnership. The attraction between two people holds the seed of cosmic bliss. It mirrors the longing of the soul to return to unity. But for that bliss to grow, both partners must be willing to evolve, individually and together. A relationship that becomes stagnant, where neither person is growing, will eventually crumble. What once felt alive will start to feel dull or painful. But when both people continue to expand into their fullness, the relationship becomes a sacred dance, alive, responsive, and full of joy. So ask yourself, am I using my relationships as mirrors for truth and growth? Am I willing to take full responsibility for my experience? Am I brave enough to be seen? The more you purify your intentions and patterns, the more freedom and depth you'll experience in love. Bliss is not something reserved for the lucky few. It's the natural result of two people who are willing to do the inner work together. May you have the courage to take this path, to risk your heart, to love freely, and to remember that you are not a victim of life or of others. You are a creator. You always have the power to choose how you show up. And when you choose truth, love, and self-responsibility, you open the door to heaven on earth. Love you. Connect soon.